My name is Adam Fox. If you do know me, that is awesome. If you don't know me, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we're doing. I'm Adam Fox. I'm here as a virtual exercise instructor for Connected Community Health Support, CCHS. Today is day 103 of our free body weight exercise program. So let me get some stuff up here for you real quick. If you guys have any questions about anything that we offer here at CCHS, you can always go click this, this link down here, or go to our website at connectedchs.com. We got a bunch of different free services and paid services. So we're not just trying to sell you stuff. And if you don't want, yeah, snug, there we go, baby. What's happening? I've been waiting for you, man. It feels like it's been a couple months since I've seen you last, man. How have you been? Hopefully good, as always. Sorry, I see this glare coming in. I don't want you guys to be blinded by this. It might be a little too dark. I can't tell. How are you, brother? You were waiting for me on the drop of 12 o'clock today. I'm glad you're here, man. But as I was saying, Snug, I know you are doing great. Hey, that's awesome, man. Me too. Honestly, I've had a little bit of turbulence in my life the past week and a half, 2 weeks, but things are on the up and up now, and honestly, I'm feeling great. CCHS is doing great. Jacob and I just had a great day yesterday. We had a wellness fair at Hudson Valley Community College in Troy. It's our alma mater. We are alumni of there, so we had a great day there. Got a lot of potential clients. So I'm on cloud nine right now, man. Naturally, that is. I'm feeling amazing. So I'm glad you're doing good. I'm doing good as well. Makes me happy to hear, man. Like I said, I've missed you, man. You're one of the OGs. You've been here since basically the beginning. So it made me sad that I wasn't seeing you anymore. But you're here, and that's all that matters. So as I was saying, guys, just go check us out on the website if you have any questions or you want to know more about us, and tell your friends about us too. I know that I'm not going to sit here and try to sell you and tell you that you need to go tell all your friends, but if you know anyone that could benefit from this program or any of the free stuff that we offer, whether it's the Instagram post about nutrition and all the other pillars of health and wellness, or it's the blog posts, or it's just the exercise stream, or the paid personal training, or the virtual training. Either way, whichever service you think may be good for someone that you know, give us a shout out. We've been doing this for free for a very long time, and we do this because we love you guys. We're not doing this because we're looking for the money aspect on the free side. So even if it's just the free side, go give us a shout out. Let people know what we're doing, all right? Hey there. Oh, who's this? What's happening? Oh, cutie. Oof. I don't know if I'm that cute, but I appreciate the kind words, my friend. How are you? I hope you're doing amazing as well. As you just heard me talking and rambling about how amazing I'm doing. I have no complaints here today. So thank you for the kind words. But do I have anything else to cover? I'm all excited and I'm all giddy and talkative now, so I can't remember if there's anything else I need to cover before we get started on day 103. This is week 30. Can you guys believe we've already been doing this for 30 weeks? Seems like I just started this yesterday, but it also does seem like I was in school just yesterday. So maybe that's why. Let me full screen this a little bit. All right. No, I don't want to Google ads. I want to get to the workout. Okay. Perfect. So let me just grab a sip of my coffee real quick. Yes, I'm drinking coffee at noon. I know. May not be the best thing, but that's okay. Oh, we got another one. Nice. Hey, I'm glad you're here. Thank you for joining on. Are you ready to get a great workout in today? Because let's get started. I'm ready to get a good workout in. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling a little spiffy. I'm feeling a little feeling like I got a little energy, a little pep in my step today. So let's get going, guys. All right. First thing, and also I'm not sure who the J underscore KI Chiari, but shout out to him. I appreciate the raid, and we always have that option on. So that is awesome. Perfect. All right, let's get going. So the first thing, let's get, as we always do, we're going to start from the toes, work our way up to the neck for the warm-up. So let's start with some ankle rolls here if you want to. Now, me personally, I get a little leaning more to one side, to my left side than my right. So I try to even it out by just keeping my center of mass, keeping your head over your knee like this, and then just rotating the ankle around about 10 times each direction, clockwise or counterclockwise. Well, both, I should say. And then bring it back this way, just like so. Don't hurt yourself. Don't make, if any of these ranges of motion are causing you any type of pain, just cut them and hit me in the chat, hit me in the messages, and let me know what's going on. And I'll try to fix it on the spot and give you little pointers and whatnot. But if it's hurting, there's no need to keep doing it. I don't want you guys to hurt. I want you guys to feel good. So, all right, almost done here. 1, 2, and last one right there. Perfect. All right. And again, if I'm going a little too fast for you guys, it's okay. Just keep going. Follow along. I'll eventually slow down a little bit once my energy levels come down just a tad. So, all right. Now we got the warming up the legs, the hammies. Bring the heel up and kick out. Heel up and kick out, just like this. Basically kicking yourself in the butt and then extending the leg back out. Kicking yourself and then kicking a soccer ball, right? We're going to do 10 of these. Another thing that I don't emphasize, I think that was 13, whoopsies, a lot is because I'm talking too much, is the breathing aspect for this program. Making sure that when you're doing these movements, even in the warm-up, you're not constricting your breathing or constraining your breathing. What I mean by that is you're not, you're making sure you're breathing through these movements and not holding your breath doing it, because that does change the dynamics of how the muscle tension relationship, the tension relationship of the muscles. So just make sure taking breaths in the nose, out of the mouth for all these movements. Okay, now we're gonna get started with the hips. So we did the legs, the ankles, now we get to the hips. So we're doing the open and close gait like this, bringing that hip up and over like so. And I get some popping, clicking a little bit too. So if you do get that, as long as it's not painful, it should be okay. I forgot to start the timer, but that's okay. 1 second. All right, we're gonna switch sides now. So same thing, we do about 5 to 10 on each side, whatever feels most comfortable for you guys. And also, I gotta look at your name again. Excuse me, I'm not good with the new. Zephyr, I think. Zephyr, yeah. Go check us out too. Go check us out on Instagram, Connected CHS, and Facebook, YouTube, all that good stuff. Go check us out. Let us know if you like any of what we're doing. Give us a follow, give us a like. You don't gotta give us no money. It's not what I'm asking for. Just give us some follow, give us a like. Let your friends know about us. All right, now to the T-spine rotations. Whoo, my back and shoulders are sore. All right, hands all the way out here, following the other hand with your eyes, and then bring it back. And the reason I say follow it with your eyes is because your T-spine, so your thoracic spine, and your cervical spine rotate together. So they, if you're going like this, you're not looking at it, you're not getting the full rotational capacities of the system. And if we're trying to open up the chest, you want to be able to rotate as much as you possibly can. A couple more here. One more on each side. All right, perfect. Now, I will get to that comment in just 1 second. I got to make sure we get through this warm-up because I'm really bad at keeping a time frame on these warm-ups. So let's do some arm circles real quick. You can do these nice and at the pace that I'm doing them at. You can do them single arm, nice and controlled like this. You can also do little window washers, I call them, like this, clockwise, counterclockwise. And the big thing I would say for this part of the warm-up, especially for the shoulders, is give your shoulders as much new stimulus and information as you can. Don't just do one shoulder circle like this for the entire time we're doing them. Give your body a little variety. That's what it wants, right? It wants a little spice. It doesn't want the same old boring movements every single time. A little bit more. All right, now we're going to go to the neck, and I'm coming. Remember, I'm not going to forget about the comment. Don't worry. But, all right, starting with the neck, so now we're going to look down and look up and look down. Look at those ankle bones and look up to the ceiling. Look at the ankle bones. That's what I want you to think of. Ankle bones, ceiling. And if you guys stick around for the tidbit today and the quote of the day, as always, I'm going to explain why I'm telling you to look at the place in space, look at this external factor, and not think about the motion and the movement of the neck muscles. So I'll get to all of that, I promise. But now, looking left to right. Look to the left, look to the right, look to the left. Find a spot on each wall and only focus on looking to that spot. So right now there's a tree and outside. I'm focused on looking at the wall. And like I said, I will explain all of that in a little bit at the end as to why that is more beneficial for your organization of movement. But now let's get started. Yes, thank you very much, man. I appreciate that so much. You guys are my family here. All right, so hold up. We're gonna get started. We got 2 seconds until that's gonna beep. So once I restart the timer, we're gonna get right into it. So grab a pillow, grab something that you can extend to the floor. And can you guys see me very well? Okay, sorry. I feel like the lighting's not the best in here, but that's okay. So I have the pillow. First, I want you to put your hands on your hips, push to your knees. Look at this nice aligned lower back we got now. It's a great hinge position. You're gonna pick the pillow up, and now all you're gonna do is touch it to the floor, like so. And the more that you bend, the more you bring the pillow horizontal, the harder it's gonna get, because that means you're gonna need to achieve more range of motion with your hips, like so. So if you want it more vertical, it's gonna be less range of motion. All right, we're starting with this. As soon as I click this time, we're gonna go. Ready? 3, 2, 1, and go. Oh, you guys can't hear that. That's way too quiet. All right, let me know if you guys can hear that in about 20 seconds. So let's get going here. And there are 3 different variations we can do of this. I will show the other 2 as well. You can do the single leg hinge, like so. You're achieving the same thing, but the only difference being that you're doing it single leg. And then also we have the bridge, but I don't have time to show you that. So I'll show you that on the next set around. And done. You guys can definitely hear that. I don't even need to ask. All right. Now, the next movement is one of the old-fashioned ones, the old keystones. Is that the word? I'm not talking about the beer. The old foundational movements. One of the ones we've been doing for a long time. So we're going to bend over at the hips like this, row, and then fly. Starting in 2, 1, and begin. So we're going to row, and then fly, and then row, and then fly, just like this. And I definitely did not mean keystone as in the beer, because that stuff does not taste good. Not that I'm not that I frequent drinking beer or anything, but definitely not my top choice in beer. I know it's a health and fitness stream. I probably shouldn't be talking about beer, but that's okay, because everyone is human and we all have little things like that, like wanting to drink beer. And cut it. Okay. All right. I need to actually adjust this because I'm realizing you're not going to be able to see me on the floor. And now you can't see my head. Okay. And if you guys have noticed this or not, whoa, whoopsies, almost forgot. Put the exercises up there. I am at Jacob Carroll's house. I am at the Carroll compound, so to speak. So now we're going to start with D1. So watch me. We're going to start hand. It's like you're pulling a sword from the sheath, pressing to the sky, holding a tray like you're a server. So your hands like this. So you're pulling and then pressing. Pulling. We're going to switch sides after each time. So pull the sword from the sheath and then press to the sky. That's another example of those external cues that I will be talking about later. Pull and press. And if you want to get really jiggy with this, you can go way down and pull from there, but you do not need to do that. All you have to do is pull from the pocket. But I'm really, really, really excited to talk about the internal, external stuff, because that is how I base my training, not just for the classes that I train, but also for any athlete and general population individual one-on-one training. So it's something I live by. Jacob lives by it. Like, this is what CCHS does. So I'm really, really excited to talk about this. All right, now we're doing mountain climbers. So on the ground, bringing the knees up like so. You can also do it from an inclined position like this if you like, or you can do it just standing like so. Whatever you want to do, whichever one feels the best. We got 3 different rounds, so maybe do one of each. Like I said, give your body a little variety. Your body likes to have things not be the same all the time, okay? And done. There we go. Almost about to give you guys a high five, but not done with the set quite yet. All right. Now we are moving on to, excuse me. All right, now moving on to the squats. So I need you guys to grab a chair or a couch, and all I want you to do is sit down and stand back up. All right, so all we're going to be doing, it's the only thing you need to think about is sitting down, standing back up. Except when you're sitting down, follow my lead. You're going to touch your butt and come back up. Touch your butt and come back up. Touch your butt and come back up. Touch the butt and then come back up. Just like that. You don't need to focus on, bracing your core or anything like that. Just touch the butt to the chair and then stand back up. Because what is the difference from this and sitting down in a chair and standing up? The only difference is you're not sitting back in the chair. All you're doing is touching the butt and coming up. It's that easy. Good job, guys. I keep on wanting to give you high fives. Maybe it's just because Snug's in here, one of my OGs, and I just want to keep on giving you high fives, congratulating you for getting through the set, because that's what I'd be doing if it was in person, but that's okay. That's okay. We don't got to worry about that. We're going to move on here to the push-ups and the flies. So we've been doing push-ups for the past 28, 29 weeks. Now we're changing it up a little bit. We're going to do flies and then push-ups for the second round. So starting on your back, if you want to grab a book and use a book as resistance or some water bottles or something, I want you to let your arms drop down like this and then pull them back. Just like so. And again, if you would much rather do the push-ups, go right ahead. We're just trying to give you a little more variety, like I said. This variety is the key to spicing up your life, not just in movement, but in anything else you do. Don't get stuck in the same routine. All right, and there we go. Perfect. I know that sounds kind of corny, like don't get stuck in the same routine, but it really does. Having a little bit of variety and just not doing the same thing over and over again really does make a big difference when it comes to creativity, your willingness to put yourself in an uncomfortable situation. There's a lot of things that it can be beneficial for. So just do something different every day, a little bit of spice. All right, now we're doing the ITYs, another foundational movement here. So hands from the hips to the knees, and then T's, Y's, I's, just like so. Y, I, Y, T. And if you can't get all the way down like this, that's okay. You can do it from here. As long as you're still getting the arms up, still getting that good shoulder range of motion, that's all that matters. Alrighty, and there we go. Almost done with the first set. And remember, this is the last week of the 30-minute exercises. So we're just about to week 5 of the third quarter. So that is when we switch to the 45-minute exercises. Still going to be 3 sets, but I believe it's still going to be 3 sets. I actually need to double check that. I can't remember. But the whole point of me saying that is going to be 45 minutes. So on to the next movement, 1, 2, 3 bursts. We're going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? It does not have to be high impact. It can be nice and gentle like I'm doing right now. Because I understand this is a low impact exercise routine and we are not trying to make you guys have any joint pain or anything like that. But if you want to go a little faster, be my guest. But all you have to do is just get the leg up. Even if holding it for a second would be also good. Just getting up here, holding it. 1, 2, 3, holding it. Perfect. And there we go. That's my first clap of the day. Give me a high five. Whoosh. We made it through the first round, guys. Good job. We're big on this here at CCHS. Make sure you acknowledge, internalize, and give yourself some credit for making it through a set, because some days it's harder than others, and we understand that. So good job for making it through this first set. Proud of you guys. Excuse me. Let's move on to the second set. I'm going to show you the bridge for the first movement, and we're going to go from there. Starting from here, remember you want to make sure your hips are even in between your knees and shoulders, like so. And you can increase the difficulty and throw a little variety in there. Do it with your heels dug into the ground. Do it with your tiptoes. Just like balancing on your tiptoes like you're on a block of ice, which is a weird analogy, but again, we're going to talk more about internal and external in a little bit here. So doing this or doing from the heels And we are done. There we go. Alrighty. Perfect. Looking good on time today. I always talk a little bit, so I know it goes a little bit longer than the other streams, but hey, that's okay. That's why you guys are here. Snug, I do gotta ask you, are you a Penguins fan, my friend? Because I really like you and I want to be your friend, but I'm a Devils fan, so I don't know, man. All right, starting with the row fly combo here, guys. I'm just joking. We can still be friends. We just can't ever watch hockey together, okay? Or we can't ever watch the Penguins play the Devils together, because if you are a Penguins fan. The Steelers I can respect, because I'm a Giants fan, but, you know, I understand the Steelers. I can't complain. Steelers are pretty good. They've been pretty good. And I like Mike Tomlin. He's a good guy. All right. Done with that. We're moving back to the D1. Remember, we're going to be medieval knights today. We're pulling that sword from the sheath like this and then pressing to the sky. So you're pulling and pressing. Not yet. Still got about 10 more seconds, but just making sure we're all on the same page for that one. Pulling and then pressing. Pulling and then pressing. All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. And begin. Pull and press. Pull and press. And press and then pull. Oh, that was really weird, but I just did. Pull and press. Pull and press. Pull and press, just like that. Remember, you can get that little knee bend that I'm doing here. Pressing up. Pressing up. Pull and press. Just like so. Keep going here. We got 3 seconds left. Come on, guys. And done. There we go. Good job, good job, good job. Perfect. All righty. So then we're going to go back to ye old mountain climbers. And the reason, and the imagery again, of the analogy of trying to pull it from the sheath, just helps you coordinate movement a little bit better. I don't want to give away too much because I already said I'm going to talk about this, but it helps you coordinate movement better because you're not thinking about what your muscle is doing. You're just thinking about the goal of the movement. Speaking of the goal of the movement, mountain climbers starting now. Perfect. So bringing the knees up like so. We're going to try to keep your shoulder joint. So this right here, you want to try to keep this in a straight line with your wrists. So you're not here. You don't want to be that far back. You want the hands under the shoulders, not in front of the shoulders, if that makes sense. Couple more seconds here, guys. Stopping in 2, 1, and cut it. There we go. Whoo! Good. We're still even doing better on time. I like this. It's not very often that I stay inside my time range, so this is good. All right. Now, back to the squats. We can do lateral squats as well. So the lateral squat, I'm gonna demo here starting in a couple seconds, or just do the regular squat. Remember, regular squat, touch and go. The lateral squat, 2 different ways you can do it. Down like this and come over. Just go back and forth like this, or you can stand like this and go back and forth. Either way, it's just range of motion. I see you need a little more hip and ankle range of motion, as well as T-spine range of motion to be able to stand up tall in this position. But that's okay. We're done with that. Good job, guys. Whew. Get a good workout today. My heart is feeling it. I love this. All right. On to the next one. And we are doing the push-ups this time. Like I said, we're going to try to switch it up a little bit each set. I always do it for my knees, just to accommodate. You can do them standing or on the wall, just pushing off the wall. Either way, whichever one feels the best. Starting in 2, 1, and begin. So remember, from the knees, like so. 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Remember, we're doing the 1, 2, 3 because we need to gain that eccentric strength and then push off. 1, 2, 3. Last 1, 2, 3 and done. There we go. What I mean by eccentric is the lowering of the movement. So when your muscle is lengthening, so when you're coming down like this, your tricep is lengthening under the stress, under your weight. So it's lengthening, and then shortening. So the lengthening, you actually get double, you get 2/3 the muscle activation, but that's not important. We're gonna go to the ITYs. I'll explain all that later. Hands from here to here. Remember, doing the T's and Y's. I call them ITYs, and it really should be TYIs, but that's okay. Me and Happy Face had a little talk about this the other day. ITY, TYI, ITY, YT, ITYI, ITY. There's so many different ways to say it. You guys understand what I'm doing, though. That's okay. T's and Y's and I's and I's and Y's and T's and T's. And done. There we go. Alrighty. Forgot what I was saying. That's okay. That also happens a lot too. I just forgot what I'm saying. Well, you guys love me, so it's okay. I love you too. Big hearts, big love and support. And back to the 1, 2, 3 burst. Remember, this can be nice and slow. Does not have to be fast paced by any means. So from here, 1, 2, 3, hold it for a second. 1, 2, 3, hold it for a second. Try to find your center of balance, right? Find that stability point where this feels good, and you can hold it. Just like that. Just like that. Hold it for just a second. It's really good full body, single leg stability, because I know it's called single leg stability, but it is really a full body balancing act, because opposite arm, opposite leg, having to hold here, kind of like you're almost sprinting. But good job. Made it through round 2. Give me a nice big whoosh. Nice big high five. Good job, guys. I'm glad you're all here enjoying a great workout. You guys have any suggestions for us as this stream continues? Any suggestions of movements or timing or anything you guys have questions, comments, and concerns? Please let us know. We're more than willing to help out with that and accommodate to those. But now we're back to the top. So grab that pillow, bring down like so, and then bring back up. Just like this. Touch the pillow to the ground. If you want to make it harder, go a little bit more horizontal. Remember, what axis is that? Anyone know? The axes horizontal, I believe that's the y-axis. I don't know. It's been too long. And we're done. There we go. We're done with that at least. If you guys are smarter than I am, let me know. I think that's the y-axis, but honestly, I can't remember. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? That's okay. I was trying to find it, but I'm not gonna. All right, back to the row fly combo. Starting here in 3, 2, 1, and begin. So get down like this, row, and then fly, and then row, and then fly. Just like so. Row and fly, and row and fly. Keep on going. We're almost done here. We've got 10 more seconds. Come on. This is also good for the lower body too, because you're getting some good stability down. Oh, whoopsies. Good stability down here of just holding this almost hinge position, kind of half squat, half hinge, just like this. So this is always a good thing to strengthen your legs and its legs and core in that position, because this is a position we find ourselves in very often in the day, whether we're reaching down to pick something up, sitting down in a chair, moving, grabbing something like this. It's really good to have that foundational strength and stability in that range of motion. All right. Back to the D1, starting in 2, 1, and begin. So pull that sheath, pull the sword from the sheath, not the sheath. You wouldn't be pulling the sheath off your body, because then the sword would come with it. You have a sword that you can't do anything with. Pull that sheath. Damn it, pull the sword out of the sheath. I'll get it eventually. Just give me some time, I promise. Just like so. Don't gotta make it any more complicated than you want it to be. Remember, you don't have to bounce down, almost bounce down like I am. But that's okay, and we are done with that. Good job, everybody. Only, can I count? 5 single mass exercises. For any of my Spanish folks out there, don't know how to say exercise in Spanish. I've been saying this for a long time, and I just make it up, and I know that's not how you actually say it, so I'm just going to stop saying it. All right, back to the mountain climbers where we can do them standing. We can do them on the couch. I'm going to start the demo on the couch here in 2, and go. If you don't have the range of motion to really get the knees up, you start going like this, that's okay. Just elevate yourself a little bit more so you're bringing the knees as straight up as you can. Keep going here. We've got about 10 more seconds. Stopping in 3, 2, 1, and cut it. There we go. Good job, everybody. Hold my second clap of the day. I swear I'm getting better at it. Oh, what is going on over here? What is happening with my phone? My apologies. My phone is... What in the hell? All right. What is going on here? Come on, phone. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Starting with the squats now. Squats or lateral squats. Touch the butt. Come back up. Just like so. Pretend like you're holding a big ball out in front of your face. You're just holding it here like this. When you come down, you're holding that ball just like this, right? And pretend like you got a piece of wood in the pockets of your elbow so you can't let the wood fall. You can't go side to side or go down like this. Good, there we go. Good job, guys. Good job, good job, good job. 3 last exercises and then we're done. So what we're going to do this time is we're going to start with the fly. So start doing the fly like that, and then we're going to switch to the push-up halfway through just because I like to have that variety. Like I said, I know you guys are listening, but I'll say it again, probably 2 more times or 3 more times before the stream's over. And we're starting in 2, 1, and begin. So just like this. Breathe. Remember, I talked about this earlier, but make sure you're breathing, my friends. And now we're going to roll over on our knees and press like so. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And there we go. Done with push-ups for the day. I know you either love them or hate them, so no more. We don't got to do them anymore. Because I know I'm not a huge fan of push-ups, but they are good. They are a fundamental movement pattern. We should do them. So as much as we may not like them, we got to do things we don't like sometimes, unfortunately. All right, back to the ITYs now. And then the 1, 2, 3 burst. And then I got the quote and the tidbit. And then we're done. We can get out of here. All right, like I said, ITYs starting now. So T's and Y's. I, Y, T. Just like so, guys. Doesn't have to be any more complicated than you want it to be. Don't have to go really fast. You can go nice, slow pace if you want. Whatever works the best for you guys. We got 3 more seconds here. And we are done. Perfect. There we go. Not done with the whole program, but so really good example. As you've seen, I've been messing with my lower back all day. I did a box jump on Tuesday. It was much higher than my actual ability to jump. It was more so me just how high could I get my hips to internally rotate and my feet to swing around. And now I'm suffering because my lower back is on fire. But that's my fault, not this program's fault. Starting with the 1, 2, 3 bursts. I'll explain that a little bit more what I mean. You ever see people do box jumps that are like anything? Now, granted, there are people who can jump ridiculously high. I'm not doubting that. But there's a certain point where jumping is just, you're not getting any higher. You're just getting your hips to internally rotate and bring your feet around to land on whatever object it is. So the height you're jumping is still the same, but how, and we are done, but how much you can, what I mean by that is when say I'm jumping like this high, I have to flip and pretend like both legs are doing it. You have to flip this leg like this to get the foot on top. So all that is hip range of motion. It's not, you're not jumping any higher or lower. So the whole point of me saying that is to try to encourage you guys not to do anything stupid like that, an ego jump. I had a bunch of people around me supporting me like, oh, you can do it. It's an ego jump. Just try to stay away from those. All right, now to the cool down. We're gonna do something a little bit different today. So we're going to put one leg out in front of us like this, reach to the ground, and then come back up, right? So you're gonna have to balance yourself, reach to the ground, and then come back up. Reach to the ground, come back up. Just want to switch it up a little bit, like I said, instead of doing the same old. Switch it up. So I'm in this position like this, if you can see my feet. I'm just coming down, touching the floor, almost like you're a big windmill, right? Coming forward. Now we're going to switch sides, same thing. One side, maybe a little, you don't have to touch the floor if you can't, just do this. Even for me, this is a little difficult on one side. I do have some hip and knee issues. I tore my ACL a long time ago, and I still have to deal with that. All right, now we're done with those. So now let's cool down the arms, and instead of just doing the shakes that we usually do, we're gonna do those for a little bit, and then we're gonna move on. So we're gonna do this for about 20 seconds. Move on from this. All right, what we're gonna do now, one arm at your side like this, the other arm is gonna come all the way over like so, and then back. And then all the way over like so, and then back. And you're reaching out as far as you can both ways. Reach out, and then come back. So reach out, and then come back. Reach out, and then come back. Reach out like so, and then come back. So you're looking at that hand still, remember. I know I was looking at you guys. That's because I'm trying to demo it. All right, now for my favorite part, in my opinion, one of the most important parts of the cool down. Let us sit down and do some breathing. In the nose, out of the mouth. Just like usual, okay? In the nose, out of the mouth.
Activity completed.
Well, thank you, Siri. So, big thing with the breathing there, just making sure that you are exhaling longer than you're inhaling, because you activate your, basically what you do is you activate your body's ability to rest and digest much better when you're exhaling longer. It's called your parasympathetic nervous system. It's more so just a way of getting your body to relax. It's actually touching into your vagus nerve, which is your relaxation. It's not called your relaxation nerve, but it's nicknamed your relaxation nerve. Runs from the back of your brain all the way down to your stomach, and it controls a lot of different autonomic functions, and also the stress factor of the stress of the organs and whatnot. So just making sure that you're breathing, getting yourself into that state. Sorry, didn't really need to know all that stuff, but that is important to make sure you're in that parasympathetic state at the end of this workout instead of sympathetic, because that's like basically driving a car. Snug, you've heard this a million times, I'm sorry. But it's basically like driving a car at 90 miles an hour for like 45 miles and then getting out of the car and just leaving it on and then getting back in the car and driving it again for 45 miles at 90 miles an hour. It's just not, you need to let the engine cool down. Think about the same thing as your heart. You need to let the heart cool down, right? All right. Enough of that gobbledygook. Now we are going to the quote of the day as well as the tidbits. the tidbit. As I talked about literally all stream, I'm very excited to talk about this because this just comes naturally to me, and this is really, honestly, this is really, it's just very beneficial for overall training and when you're looking at movement and even just how you organize, like picking things up off the ground, right? But I'm gonna get to that in a second. So, quote of the week: all progress takes place outside of the comfort zone. And I kind of talked about this in the beginning, that even if you're not comfortable or if you're not comfortable finishing an entire session, even doing 1 or 2 sets is really important because you're getting out of that comfort zone. Even just coming and showing up, it might make you a little uncomfortable, but that is where the growth is really going to be made, is when you are uncomfortable. Because when you're comfortable, you don't have any need to you don't have a desire to grow because you're complacent, because there's no stimulus, there's no stress that's forcing you to change. So you're just going to stay as the same, which is totally understandable. But that's not, if you're looking for self-growth, that's not the best way to go about it. So making sure that you're challenging yourself every day. That's kind of like one of the little challenges. Or it's not the challenge for this week, but make sure you're challenging yourself every day. Also, the challenge of the week, Snug, listen up. I want you to do this too. Everyone else in the community is doing it. I'm doing it. Jacob's doing it. Seth's doing it. Happy Face, everyone else. So I want all the community members to do this. What we're going to be doing is basically just a physical activity challenge, right? I want you to get some physical activity every day of the week, even if it's just a 10 to 45-minute walk. Keep moving and staying active all week. Your body's going to thank you in the long term. And if you want, you can use this as a baseline. So say that you do any type of lifting and or aerobic exercise, you can count how many minutes you did of each on that week and then use this as a baseline of, okay, this was really hard this week. Should I scale back a little bit, or was this too easy and I can do more? So it's basically, we'll just be able to set a nice little standard of what your body is capable of doing and what you should expect, and where you should go from training from here on outward, as far as intensity, duration, types of training, whether it's aerobic or anaerobic. Anaerobic just means you're lifting weights, so you're not using oxygen. Well, you are, but you're not doing cardio. And then aerobic is cardio, jogging, running, biking, treadmill machines, cardio machines, any cool stuff like that. So that's the quote in the challenge. So now we have the tidbit, right? So as I talked about almost all stream, I was talking about making sure that you're doing analogies, right? I just wanted to grab my coffee real quick. That you're using analogies to move. Because when you already have, it's hard to create a new movement when you don't have a representation of what that movement is, or you don't have something to attach that representation of the movement to, right? So if I tell you, if you're pressing, say, even like, this is kind of a more complicated example, but if you're overhead pressing, if I tell you to extend your elbow all the way and just extend your elbow, make sure your elbows are extended, then you're not truly overhead pressing. Now all you're focusing on and what you're organizing the movement around is extending your elbow. But if I tell you to punch the dumbbell through the ceiling, you're going to extend the elbow, and I'm not going to tell you I'm not going to have to tell you to extend your elbow, right? It's much more subconscious. It's something that you already have a reference point to. It's, you know how to punch and you know what the ceiling is. So you want to punch the dumbbell through the ceiling opposed to just extending the elbow, because that can really mess up the coordination of the movement in the whole. And I know it may sound like a very minute thing there, but that is the difference between the internal and external cues, and that's what they're called. The internal cues being something that is, say, for example, like I was just saying, a physical internal bodily movement and or function being extending the elbow, or the external cue being punch the dumbbell through the roof. So the difference of those two, Jacob's going to come on tomorrow and he's going to go a little bit further in depth on the science behind the internal and external cues and how internal cues can be beneficial. But when it comes to organizing bodyweight movement, the stuff that we do, Jacob and I have both been through the ringer when it comes to hurting ourselves and having really flawed control strategies internally. So a good example for myself is my back. For many years, I was constantly thinking I had to pull my shoulder blades down and back to have a good shoulder position, but that's not true. You don't need to pull your shoulder blades down and back. You're internally controlling that position, right? It's more so a better cue for that is to bring your shoulders, or try to touch your shoulders to the chair. So and what I'm talking about is posture right now, right? So say that you are in a chair and you always think, okay, my good posture, I need to bring my arms down and back, right? I got to bring my shoulders down and back. That's what PTs say all the time, physical therapists. Instead, if you just touched your shoulders to the chair, you're achieving the same thing without internally controlling those muscles. Because as soon as, like I said, as soon as you start internally controlling those muscles, you're changing what the task of the movement is. You're changing the entire movement in regards to how your brain looks at it, right? So now instead of because what is the goal of the movement? We want better posture. So the goal of the movement, instead of better posture, is now controlling your shoulders to pull it down and back, opposed to, all right, I want better posture, put my shoulders on the chair. Just bring your shoulders to the chair. And that's kind of a confusing reference. The best one that I can give is the squat pattern, right? And I talked about this on stream, but what is a squat? A squat, all a squat is standing up, sitting down in a chair, except difference being that your center of mass fluctuates when you sit down in the chair because you can change to sitting actually all the way down. So the best way, if you guys are having any issues with your squat pattern, you're feeling any dysfunctions, what I want you to do is focus on just sit down in the chair and then stand back up. Sit down in the chair and then stand back up, just like that. It doesn't have to be any more difficult because as I've talked about with the controlling the movement and the coordination, there's a hypothesis called the constrained movement hypothesis that your brain functions better when it has a goal of the task. It has a task and a goal. And the goal of this task being sitting down and standing up. Now, when you constrain the body's ability to organize around that task, organizing being just getting the muscles and joints to be in the right angles to be able to achieve the task. When you start trying to control certain muscles like your glutes or your quads, I know those are big things when trainers nowadays will say you need to squeeze your glutes. No, you don't. You don't need to squeeze any muscles for your muscles to work. Your muscles will work by themselves as long as you give them a goal, right? Your muscles are not controlling the movement. Your nervous system is controlling the movement, which is controlling the muscles. So which one do you want to have control over? The nervous system or the muscle? You don't want it to be controlling the muscle, because think about it as almost like this might be a bad analogy, but on like in a traffic jam or in a flow of traffic, right? With a bunch of cars. If everyone is trying to get off, let's say there's 8 exits, right? And everyone's trying to get off exit number 7. But one person decides that they just want to go as fast as they can and or stop in the middle of trying to merge onto the exit. What's going to happen? There's either going to be a pileup or there's going to be dead traffic. So a stop, a pileup is in a crash or a stopping and no one's moving anymore. So think about that the same way with the muscles, right? You're trying to get to exit 7, i.e. sit up and sit down, right? Stand up and sit down, right? So you're trying to get to exit 7, but you are by controlling those muscles, you're not allowing your body to actually do the movement the way it wants to. You're not allowing your car and the whole group of cars to get to exit 7. You're stopping it and you're letting some go. And then that one guy is going to mess up the lane and the traffic for everyone else. So it's kind of a abstract analogy. If you can bear with me there, I know it's a little bit more. That one, I came up with that one on the spot. I usually use different ones like birds. You ever seen like flocks of birds, how they all move together so elegantly, and they go by one rule, right? Their only rule is stay a certain distance apart from the other bird. What is that, my friend? I love that. I love whatever that emoji is. Intro hype. Okay. All right. I'm with it. But like with the bird, all they're doing is staying a certain distance apart. And when one moves, the other stays with them, stays a certain. All right. That's what I thought. Yeah. I thought that was a hype emoji. But all the birds are doing is, if they're this close to each other, they're staying this close to each other. So if all of the flock moves, the only goal that they're organizing around is staying within that 6 inches or 1 foot to the other bird. So then they can move in these crazy abstract patterns, but yet look so elegant and so connected. And that's the way that the body should be moving. That's the way the muscles should be moving, right? You shouldn't have to focus on that individual muscle to make the entire whole work. You shouldn't have to. That's not how this should work. But there are also instances. And I'm not saying external cues are good for everything, right? Jacob's going to come on tomorrow and talk about how internal cues are good for certain things. And he's going to go a little bit more in depth on external cues because we both have opinions on this. They're very similar, but to hear another person talk about it in a different light is always beneficial for you guys because I'm just one person. Granted, I get these ideas and my philosophies from research, but I'm just one vessel of truth, right? So Jacob's going to come on tomorrow and talk more about this and kind of give you a more in-depth understanding of why it's so good to use external cues, especially when you're organizing body weight movements. And even when you're working out with weights, right? Like now this is where we get choppy when it comes to like CrossFit and like bodybuilding. That's different. Like what is the goal of their movements, right? Bodybuilding, it's to get as big as physically possible. So yeah, I understand wanting to have more control of that muscle and kind of block out the ability of the rest of the body to organize. You just want to focus on squeezing that one muscle. That's okay. I understand that. That's their own discipline and that's fine and well. I'm not going to tell them not to do that. Same thing with CrossFit. The goal of those movements is to do the heaviest weight as fast as you can and do whatever the movement is as fast as you can for as many reps as possible. You're not going to be able to, and this is where I kind of see a little bit of, it's kind of funny. You're not going to be able to control that because everything's moving so fast. And you have too many moving parts for your brain to be able to control all those moving parts. So in a way, giving the cues in CrossFit that I would be giving here would also be beneficial for them as well because the high speed of the movement, it would allow you to only focus more on external instead of trying to control those internal movements. And then that would lead to injury, but not for everyone. So I don't want to get too far in depth. I've been talking about it for about 15 minutes now, and my voice is starting. No, I'm just kidding. My voice isn't hurting, but I could talk for like 3 hours. Let's be honest. But that's another good example. The last one I'll leave you with. So the squat and the overhead press. Remember, push the hand to the sky. The sheath, same thing. I don't need to tell you to pull your biceps because if I told you to start controlling muscles, you'd look like this instead of nice and fluid like this, right? You don't want that. So those two, and also reaching to the ground with the pillow. That's why we do that as well. Any of the pressing, when we're doing pressing, we tell yourself to just push yourself away from the ground. Try to get your face as far away from the ground as possible, right? Because a lot of times people will do push-ups like this. They'll come down with their neck. And a good way to adjust that is, hey, pretend like there's a spike that's going to stab your chest and your face. Don't let that happen. Come down, push yourself away, right? So those things are really important when it comes to organizing movement. And Jacob will talk much more about that tomorrow. I've said that about 4 times. So I'm actually going to be done for the day. I'm signing off. I'm going to stop talking. Snug. I'm so glad to see you, man. It makes me really happy. I hope that I didn't bore you with any of my sciencey movement talk about any of that. I'm glad you're here. I hope to see you Monday morning, bright and early at 7:30. I know it's hard. I do it. It's really hard. I don't blame you if you don't be there. But I want to see you at 7:30 in the morning on Monday. And also, hey, if you got it in you 7:30 tomorrow morning, Jacob Carroll's going to be here. The Carroll compound that I am currently residing in, the owner, so to speak, is going to be here. So go make sure you give him some love too. And Seth, this is our new schedule, right? Seth Spicer is back, limited, but he is here. Monday, I'm Thursday at 7:45, and then 7:30, 7:45, either or. And then Thursday at 12, and then Jacob is Tuesday at 12 and Friday at 5:30, and then Friday at 7:30, excuse me. And then Seth Spicer is Wednesday at 7:30, 7:40 in that area. So if you don't want to miss out on the Spice Man himself, go watch him on Thursday or on Wednesday. And if you don't want to miss out on me, I'm here Monday and Thursday, and Jacob's here Tuesday and Friday. All right, that's all I got for you. Snug. Have a beautifully great day and weekend, and hopefully I'll see you on Monday, man. Thank you for stopping in, everyone. You as well. Zephariah, I think that's how you say it. Again, Adam Fox here from Connected Community Health Support, signing off. You guys have a great night. Take care. Stay happy.